So I think taking from where we left the conversation between me and Manish, if we are to really become a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, we have to become a product nation. Because if you look at the market cap of Apple, I think it's around $2.73 trillion. If you look at the market cap of Microsoft, it's about $3.25 trillion. So you just add Microsoft and Apple, and that's an aspiration for India in that sense, right? And why is that? Because we may have as many services companies, we may have as many startups, but unless we are going to create those world-class products, I don't think we are going to get there. And that is where we have TAS, T-Hub, T-Works, kind of entities which are partners of this initiative, which are all sitting together, brainstorming in terms of how do we do that. And to make product nation, we need one. But about 20 of you are real representatives of those students. And I think this message is what has to go across the length and breadth of country, that we need to build more product engineers. And how do you build product engineers, right? Everyone ultimately gets a job, and IT industry has been very kind in giving jobs to a lot of people. But the question that we really need to ask ourselves is, are we building bricklayers? Are we becoming bricklayers in the IT industry, or are we becoming the architects in IT industry? I think for last 20, 25 years or 30 years, for example, when we started with the IT growth, it was all okay to get any kind of job. But today I think the young people have more confidence, they have more aspiration, and I think it's time to build on the foundation that our seniors and super seniors have laid, and really look at this as an opportunity for us, for India, to make those architects of the IT industry. You know, like in a building, you have the masons working and you have architects working. Essentially, both can go back home and say, we did a great job for that building. But you know the difference between a mason and an architect. The mason would just be following the instructions, putting things without knowing what he is doing. But the architect would have thought about it, would have designed about it. So I think that's where we have to get into that design thinking mode. That's where we have to get into that architect mode in terms of that thinking professional mode. Now, how are we trying to do that? We are trying to do that by partnering with Talent Farm, and it's an AI-based platform where we are, first of all, bringing together a lot of industry problem statements. FTCCI is a rich body which has more than 5,000 direct members and 25,000 members. So from agri-tech to fintech to vaccine, pharma, healthcare, name an industry, and you have member companies of FTCCI. And we have now started working with these member companies to source problem statements, because I think I remember listening to Mukesh Ambani once, where he said that his professor in the university would grade them based on the problems they identified rather than the solutions. And I think in the world of ChatGPT, building a solution is probably become easy. But do you identify the right problem? Can you understand the problem domain? Can you articulate the problem? Or are we going to shoot in the dark? Are we going to build fantasies in our college labs? I think that's the difference that we have to look at. And that is where the emphasis in this initiative is going to be a lot on identifying problem statements, understanding problem statements, and articulating problem statements. That it's engineers very excited about how to do things without getting into why do we need to do things or what do we need to do, right? And I think that's where the basics are going to be set right in this program, where giving it a try. So that's where I think a lot of emphasis is going to be on why. And one way of doing that is bringing together a lot of problem statements from various domains so that you get an opportunity to choose those problem statements, pick up the problem that you want to follow. Someone may have affinity to agriculture, someone may have affinity to healthcare, education, whatnot, right? The other important thing that we are trying to do in this is get a lot of mentors. So we're very fortunate, and quite a few of them are sitting here today. We have some of the best-in-class mentors, and these are not mentors who have just lent their name. These are mentors who are lending their time. These are mentors who are working with us, discussing with us, brainstorming with us, helping us build the product better, helping us build this initiative better. In the ICT team itself, you saw a wide range of people coming from all sections of the society, coming from very large MNCs like SAP, startups, organizations like T-Hub and NASSCOM, all kinds of organizations. So it's really an initiative where people have got together, because all of us have been struggling with this problem for the last 20, 30 years. I remember sitting as a student in 1997, 96, and someone coming and talking about the gap between industry and academia. And unfortunately, after 24 years back, I am standing here and talking about the same thing. Nothing much has changed, right? And I think We've had enough of Lee's time to correct that, but now it's a question of survival. Now it's a question of survival. It's also a question of, are we going to let go this opportunity, or are we going to make the best use of this opportunity with so much disruption happening around us? So I think one of the very big key points about this initiative is the kind of mentors who are associated with it, who are going to validate, who are going to help you understand those problem statements. Not just technology mentors, but also domain experts. Because if you want to solve a problem in agriculture, you also need an agriculture specialist. If you want to solve a problem in healthcare, you also want a healthcare specialist. If you want to design a hardware product, you need the support of T-Works for designing and prototyping. If you want to start your own startup, you need the incubation at T-Hub, right? So that's how it's going to work together. Now, in a screenshot, if I were to quickly take 2 minutes to explain how the whole story goes, you see on the left side, you have all the actors who are there on the platform, be it the recruiters, mentors, service providers, students, of course, and then there's that smart AI buddy, which does all the magic. You have multiple stages where the student goes through profiling, ideation, learning, building, and then finally showcasing or demonstrating it. There's a problem catalog, learning resources, a lot of online lab infra, cloud-based labs have been created in AI, cloud-based labs have been created in blockchain, Web3, all these areas. And then of course, the AI buddy kind of monitors your progress and keeps giving insights so that corrections and interventions can be done right in time instead of crying over spilt milk later on. Right? The AI buddy also does a lot of recommendations, scheduling, and all that. And finally, as an outcome, you have a skill wallet, which is a verified blockchain-based wallet where your credentials are stored. You have an app store where you can showcase to the world what you have built so that you don't go with your resume. I mean, resume is a pass. You can't go in today's world and say, this is my bio data, right? You say, this is my portfolio. These are the applications I have built. This is my GitHub repository. This is my app showcase. Please have a look at it. And these are the mentors who have checked on me, who have given a industry assessment report so that it becomes a neutral report. And all these curated profiles, as you solve these problems, are shared with potential employees, of course based on your consent. If you think you don't want to share it, it's not going to be. But these are all shared with the industry recruiters or with the employees. This way it's a win-win situation because employers are also scrambling for talent. I keep telling this, you need only one job, but the company needs 100 people like you. So the problem is bigger on the other side. Right? The problem is bigger on the other side. And when they get an opportunity to see curated profiles, when they know that the person is not just coming and writing on the resume, given an opportunity, I will do my best. Right? Everyone tells the same thing, right? That's the standard resume line. But how do I believe in you? Why should I waste my time on you? Why should I even train you? Now this is where a proof of concept, this is where data-backed, evidence-backed profile helps in the recruiter knowing, in the employer knowing exactly that these are your strengths. It's almost like you have worked with them and done an internship of 6 months with them. So I know every aspect of it. It's like how when a new team member joins me, over 6 months I get to know the strengths of the person, I get to know what are good and bad aspects of the person. That's exactly what happens here. So it becomes a huge opportunity as an internship for students to work on this. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We request your support. This is not an initiative of FTCCI. This is not an initiative of Talent Farm. This is an initiative which is going to be successful when all stakeholders work together. So I request the students, the academic fraternity, the industry mentors who are here, the partner organizations who are here to please come together and let's make it a reality. Thank you.